Hey there, it's Ann Pearson, and welcome back to the Paralegal Coach Podcast show. We're still in our survival series for paralegals, and this is part 7 of that series. This one is for new paralegals, but it's whether you're brand new to the paralegal profession or you're just brand new to the firm because you started a new position. It is that time of the year. I'm seeing a lot of the posts on LinkedIn. I don't know about you guys, but congratulating so-and-so for starting at the new firm. So I thought, this would be perfect for this time of the year because we're going to talk about tech and the learning curve. If you've ever thought, I didn't learn this in school, everyone else seems to know this already, I'll never get the hang of this software, or this new firm is completely different in terms of the software than my old firm. Well, let me start with this. You're not behind. You're just new. And no one learns legal tech instantly. So keep that in mind as we go forward. Every single paralegal, including the most experienced ones, listen to me, new paralegals. Every single paralegal, even the most experienced ones, had a moment where they stared at their computer and thought, what am I supposed to do here? Okay, so legal technology is not intuitive like our iPhones. It would be great if it was. So today, I'm going to give you a system that helps you master legal tech and procedures and without the overwhelm. But before we dive in, I want to share something exciting with you. I've launched the Paralegal Growth Hour, and it's exclusive to the Paralegal Bootcamp email subscribers. So if you're not already getting weekly emails from me, you can be part of the Paralegal Growth Hour by going to paralegalgrowth.com. What is the Paralegal Growth Hour? Well, it's where I'm going to be going live every month on the second Saturday of the month to answer your career-related questions. Why am I giving up an hour on the weekend? And why should you? Well, because I know it's probably hard for you to attend these types of things during the workday, depending on your time zone. But also, I started this or want to be able to start this. The first one is this next month, February 14th. I don't know if you have seen it, you've noticed it on social media, on LinkedIn in particular, but there are a lot of AI posts out there. People who I see promoting their products or courses or consulting services or whatever, and I can tell that they were written by AI. Yeah, part of it is because I have the AI bootcamp, so that's what I teach in there, and you kind of get to know what an AI post looks like. And I see them a lot, especially on LinkedIn and Instagram, but I don't spend as much time on Instagram. Anyways, and I also noticed last year and the year before that a lot of the posts that I would put out, even if they were short video posts, they were only being shown to like 1% of our followers on LinkedIn and Instagram. So I thought, how could I flip the switch? There's so much content out there. There's so much written information. And I don't know about you, but sometimes when I go and search things and I come up with all of these website pages with all these words, I think I just want a short summary of it. I don't want to read through this whole thing. Just give me the answer real quick. And what's even better, the pages and people I spend the most time with are ones where I can watch a video of them explaining it. So that's why I thought, okay, this could be the solution. Again, I'm just going to experiment with it probably for the next year, because I want to give it some time and see if this is something that you get a lot of value out of and I get a lot of value out of. So I'm going to take it a step further than just what I talk about on this podcast. So I know that you're a podcast listener. It's not like I'm discontinuing the podcast. I'm going to keep going with the podcast. I am probably going to reduce it back down to 2 episodes a month, because I really want to see you in person. I want you to jump on a Zoom meeting and just jump into the Zoom meeting and ask me, what's going on in your career? What do you need help with? So come join me on Saturday the 14th at 12 p.m. Eastern for our first Paralegal Growth Hour. Yes, I know it's Valentine's Day, but it's early in the day. So I hope you'll be able to make it before you have any hot dates going on for Valentine's Day. Go to paralegalgrowth.com to reserve your seat. All right, let's jump into this episode so that I can give you what I'm calling the 4-step tech mastery plan. So this framework is going to help you learn tech faster, but more importantly, increase your confidence. So let's walk through it real quick for you. Step 1, start with the core systems. Now remember, this is when you're new. You're either new to the firm or you're a brand new paralegal just starting in the paralegal profession. So I don't want you to try to learn everything at once because that's going to be overwhelming and then you're not going to be a master at any of them. If you only spend 5 or 10 minutes looking at each one and just grasping little bits and pieces of each one, then you're never going to become a master at it and you're never going to gain that confidence that you need. So I want you to start with the top 3 or 4 tools that you use every single day and just concentrate on those. Whether it's case management software, if you're a litigation paralegal, document management software for all of you, e-filing, calendaring, due diligence software, your legal research software, your billing and time entry. You probably, if you're billing hours, you use that every day. So master a few core systems first, just the top 3 or 4. Write down which ones are you using every single day. And then what's going to happen is once you master those, it's going to give you confidence and it's going to carry over to those additional tools. Plus, the most important part, these core systems are going to help you do your job more effectively. Sure, you might have 10 software tools that they told you about during your onboarding, but how often will you be using those bottom 4 to 5 tools? Once per month? Once per quarter? Choose the ones that you're going to be using every single day and master those first. Sure, you're going to eventually have to learn the others, but it's not going to be as painful to not know how to use them if you're only opening that software once a month or once a quarter. Which brings me to step 2. Map your recurring workflows. So most of your work is going to follow a pattern, whether it's filing a motion, sending a demand letter, setting hearings or depositions, managing client intake, getting ready for trial, whatever it is. So each workflow probably touches multiple systems. So map the workflow first. And in the workflow, don't just write down what you're doing in each step. Write down what piece of software you're using when you do each step. Then learn the tech that supports each step. This is part 2. Remember, part 1 is just master those few that you use every single day. But then as you're doing your work, you're mapping these recurring workflows. So you're going to go in and say, okay, I've mastered these top 3 tools, these top 4 tools that I use every single day. Now, what's next? What am I using when I'm filing a motion? What am I using when I'm preparing exhibits? And write down each step. Well, first I go into software A and I upload documents from software B. Do all of that and write down the name of the software for each step in your workflow. This is going to help you to avoid what I call learning in isolation, which that's where a lot of paralegals get stuck. When you learn something and then you forget, why do I even need to know this? Where does it fit into the work that I'm doing? All right, step 3, ask for screen recordings. Yeah, really. If you take nothing else from today's episode, take this. Screen recordings are gold. When you're new and someone shows you how to do something like file something, create a template, navigate the database, whatever it is, ask them to screen record it. Most systems have a button that make this easy. If not, there's tools like Loom or even Zoom that you can record a quick walkthrough. So then you have a visual guide, a reference, and it's a training tool essentially that you can revisit anytime. This is one of the fastest ways to learn and then retain that new tech. Now, if the other person who's showing you how to do it won't do a recording or they can't do a screen recording, then would it be helpful to you if you had a recording of yourself using it? You might be saying, well, wait a minute, Anne. If I knew how to use it, I wouldn't need a recording from them. Well, here's where I'm going with this. If it's one of those tools that you only use once a month, and you don't have the time to do a deep dive into it right now, then the next time you're working in it, do a screen recording so that when it's a month or two from now and you have to jump back in there in a hurry, you recorded yourself last time so you don't have to remember all the little tips about using it. You have a recording of the thing you need to know. All right, step 4, track your growth in a tech log. Yeah, this is going to be your confidence booster. So it's just a simple document where you're going to track what new skills did I learn? What procedures have I mastered? What are some of the common errors that I corrected and figured out? What workflows did I map out? What screen recordings have I saved? So your tech log becomes this kind of evidence of your growth, but it's also a huge confidence builder. And trust me, the day will come when you look back and say, wow, I didn't know how to do any of this 6 months ago. Look at everything that's in this tech log. That moment really matters. Do you remember the episode I did a while back? Well, actually, it was a long while back. It's maybe 2 years ago. And it was an episode on the book from Dan Sullivan and Benjamin Hardy, one of my favorite books. It's called The Gap and the Gain. If you haven't read it, go read it, please. But in that episode, I told you that everything that you're learning in those first few years as a paralegal, first of all, it's a quick refresher. Let's talk about the book. The book says that most people live in the gap. What's missing in their lives, or in your case, what's missing in your skill set because you're new. And you might look at what the other paralegals on the team can do, the senior paralegals maybe, and you could wish that you could do everything that they do. When you have that mindset, you lose confidence. Instead, if your mindset is in the gain, you look back and say, just 2 weeks ago, I didn't even know how to do a basic motion or redline a contract. The way to do that is every Friday, sit down and write out a list of things that you learned to do this week that you didn't know how to do last week. Then at the end of the month, or at least once a quarter, go back and look at all of those things that you know how to do now. You didn't know how to do them before. The things you've gained. Let's just get real here. You are new. You are not supposed to understand every system instantly or, quote, just get it the first time. You're not behind. You're building tech fluency. All right, remember that this is part of our series, and if you got that companion workbook, go to section 7. There's more learning material there. If you didn't get the workbook with it yet, you can download it going to paralegaltoolkit.com. So it's the Paralegal Survival Toolkit. If you Google it, it'll probably come up first thing anyways. All right, and don't forget about Paralegal Growth Hour. I hope to see you there. I can't wait to see you all in person if I haven't met you before. Bye for now.